Since 1962, Leonard Spider Montoute has called Gros Islet home. Early childhood education came by way of the Gros Islet Primary School. By 1981, he had graduated from the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School, where, by then, his love for sports was visible and his future in its development seemed imminent. Armed with a bachelor's degree from Kenan University and a distinction in German as a second language, Spider, as he is referred to by all, has set about effecting change in St. Lucia's sporting culture. At his first showing in the 2001 general elections, he came up against the SLP's Mario Michel and was defeated by a mere 274 votes. An encouraging result considering that no UWP candidate was able to win that seat in 15 years, and the last candidate to challenge Michel lost by almost 2,000 votes. Encouraged by this result, Spider contested the seat again in 2006. On that occasion, he defeated the SLP's former political leader by a margin of 10%. He served as the deputy political leader under Sir John, a position he retained in the Stephenson King administration. Representing the largest constituency in terms of population comes with its own set of challenges and demands. Some the MP started out by pointing.
We have some bad roads in the constituency that needs addressing and is being addressed. I would also point to economic activity in terms of job opportunities, particularly for the youth. And this is another area that I've been grappling with that, is of utmost concern to me.
He also cites the infrastructural developments and the realignment of Gros Islet in terms of economic activity as the areas most challenging to him during his first term in office. With a campaign promise of delivery on projects within the constituency, he has also vowed to bring a new paradigm to politics, in which he claims much success.
I have been successful in being looked at in a different light because I think the people of Gros Islet have recognized that I'm a man of my word. I stick to my promises, I fulfill my promises, and that they can count on what I say to them. I think still there is a lot to be done in terms of addressing that level of cynicism in the general public towards politicians. Some of it, of course, politicians are responsible for creating, but a lot of it, is because it is being fueled by a lot of misconception, innuendos, and allegations flying here and there.
Are you satisfied with the level of support from central government to the town of Gros Islet? Because you spoke of the challenges and so forth. As representative, it's your job to push central government to provide Gros Islet with its needs. Are you satisfied with it?
Well, I would say I'm satisfied with the effort. Again, the central government is constrained by its limited resources. As parliamentary representative, I recognize that there will never be enough for the demands that we have. But it is my role, it's my responsibility to push as hard as I could to get as much as I could for my constituents.
Buyers and sellers, like tax collectors and citizens, will always be at opposite ends of the spectrum. Government will want to collect the most taxes to provide as many services as possible, while taxpayers would prefer paying the least amount of tax for all the services they demand. This in itself is a high-wire act which governments must face on a daily basis. From Leonard Montoute's promises in 2006 campaign, there have been several projects delivered to his constituency. The upgrade of the playing field in Gros Islet, Corinth, Redouy, Grand Riviere and Monnier, the lighting of the Monchy Court, the upgrade of the Bois d'Orge and Bonte Courts, public toilets at the Gros Islet playing field and Monchy Central, changing rooms at the Grand Riviere playing field and Corinth playing field, sidewalks in Gros Islet, Corinth, Beausejour and Grand Riviere, ICT centers in Gros Islet, Monchy, Rivière-Mitan, La Bonne, the upgrade of the Gros Islet police station, bus shelters, flood mitigation in Corinth, Caimagé and Rivière-Mitan, the Monchy and Desrameaux Human Resource Development Center, the Desrameaux and Lafay Mothers and Fathers Hall refurbishment, the major upgrade to the Monchy Wellness Center, the Laborn Water Project, the restoration of the Gros Islet Catholic Church water tanks, the vendors booth in Monchy, and scholarships and educational incentives. Out of these accomplishments, he made special mention of the Laborn Water Project, which was funded by the government of Taiwan in excess of $1 million, and with most of the labor provided by the residents of Laborn. Hearing this resident testify, it is easily deduced that its construction has been well received.
L'autre gouvernement qui était là, Mario Michel, Kenyan Tony, nous Madeyo, Maui moi, et puis les autres, la famille, Théa, Madeyo pour venir voir qui côté yo ça mette yon tang global nous. Mario dit, nous, il doit pas ça monter mona, il pas même venir garder côté place là, nous dit, pour venir garder pour mettre tang là-bas. Spider fait travail pour nous tous jouer. Actuellement, nous n'y de l'eau en citerne nous. Malgré Saint-Clan pourquoi même bien ouvert, nous ca jouer de l'eau en citerne. Les ouvert, nous ca jouer de l'eau toutes les en citerne. So nous tous gens là bon, nous être contents. Nous n'y de l'eau à présent, nous ça bien, nous ça laver, nous ça fait chahade nous botique, bokay nous kao nous ca jouer de l'eau pour nous user.
Recreational facilities have also been created and are all provided with free Wi-Fi internet service in Gros Islet and Monchy. Although Corinth residents will not be receiving a park similar to the scale of Serenity Park in Sanssouci, they have not been left out.
The Sanssouci Park is very expensive, a masterpiece, but we will certainly be building a park there that the residents of the area will be proud of, a park that will be of utility and one that will certainly enhance the surroundings there. I mean, one more in line with what you see at Monchy or what you see in Massad or in the town of Gros Islet.
His passion for sports bled through his contributions to the budget debate in 2011, where he highlighted the various upgrades to sporting facilities within his constituency.
Madam Speaker, that in Gros Islet, the sporting infrastructure has gone through remarkable development, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, hey, we have in Monchy the refurbishment of the Monchy court and the marking of the court for basketball and netball, as well as the provision of lights on that court so that the people of Monchy can participate in sporting activities even after that. Madam Speaker, in Grand Riviere, we have established a changing room near the playing field in Grand Riviere, as well as upgrades to the playing field, because those of you who are familiar with the Grand Riviere field would know that this field had a clay surface where grass refused to grow and was very uncomfortable to play on that surface. We have resurfaced the playing field, and we are about to issue a contract to one of St. Lucia's top curators, Mr. Crafton, to go in and to grass this field properly.
But his pride and joy remains the lighting of the Gros Islet playing field.
This is not a stadium somewhere in the metropolitan countries, Madam Speaker. This is the Gros Islet playing field. The Gros Islet playing field, fully lit, Madam Speaker. And this is not midday, Madam Speaker. That's night time, that picture you see there. Madam Speaker, today, the youth of Gros Islet come to the playing field on a Saturday or Sunday, sit under the tamarind tree and wait for it to get dark for them to play. Madam Speaker, this is the privilege they now enjoy. Extended hours of use of their playing field, Madam Speaker. I'm pleased to say we're not a selfish people. The national football team also benefits from the lighting of this facility.
They say it's better to allow someone else to sing your praises, but in Spider's case, it's a full-blown choir of young people within the constituency who sing verse and chorus of thank you.
Right now, you don't have to first after school to rush to play a football game. You go play at 6 o'clock where there is the lights available. He has also done the Vivemol program for years now with the water sports program where students have learned how to use sailing, how to use the hobby cats, and how to use different stuff, which includes water sports. Whereas you get a certificate where you can show at the different hotels, signed by the minister and signed by persons who have done it for St. Lucia, sailing from Gros Islet to Matnik, with records proving Mr. Urban Augustine is one and Mr. Boffy. Also, there is a mini sports youth center, which is upstairs, the former building, upstairs courts where we can play table tennis. Right now we can play dominoes to socialize with our friends.
Grand Riviere residents have not been forgotten. The multi-purpose court will be located between the playing field and the health center, whereas Corinth residents may have to wait a little bit longer for theirs.
We are still struggling with a site for the Corinth playing field because we have a limitation in terms of crown lands in the Corinth area. But we are toying with the idea of utilizing some space in the secondary schoolyard, but that has to be carefully worked out.
Within the first 100 days in office, the transformation of Gros Islet waterfront had begun. 5 years later, it boasts a jetty, lifeguard tower, and a beautiful waterfront appearance befitting of the island's tourism capital. Also, the proposed Gros Islet produce market is eagerly anticipated by vendors who presently ply their trade in uncomfortable and sometimes hazardous areas. The less fortunate residents have not been overlooked, and a proposed soup kitchen is now a reality without much pomp and ceremony.
It is a deliberate strategy on my part not to highlight the fact that we are providing meals to underprivileged poor people of Gros Islet. I have decided that when I provide charitable services to a residence, I am not going to highlight this. I'm not going to put people's faces on television, on newspapers when this is done, because I think it is challenging enough for them to be in the situation that they are, to face the plight that they have to face. I'm not going to in any way injure their dignity by doing so.
The community group responsible is in an advanced stage of putting their meals on wheels and providing the service to the sick and shut-in other parts of the constituency. Infrastructural developments, and in particular the road network, will forever plague every government, every constituency and every parliamentary representative. The upkeep of the road networks is too often regarded as a sign of a representative's attentiveness to his constituency, and this is no different with Montoute, as he is regularly criticized for the lack thereof. The Corinth and Bois d'Orange Bridge remains a source of discomfort and was even highlighted in his opponent's campaign advertising. Montoute took the moment to apologize to residents and offer an explanation.
There has been much complaint and clamoring in the media over the upgrade of this bridge here. But contrary to popular belief, it has never been the intention to have this bridge as a main accessway. Hence the reason why we are constructing the bypass road, which will take you from Bois d'Orange into the Corinth area. Upon completion of this bypass road, this bridge will in fact be demolished and the river realigned, eliminating the bottleneck that now exists, which contributes to the flooding in upper Corinth area. And so we will not be wasting resources in upgrading this bridge. Instead, we are focusing on this bypass road, for which a contract has already been awarded and work will soon commence. We are on the site of the Bois d'Orange Corinth bypass road. On completion of this bypass road, it will facilitate the construction of the main Bois d'Orange bridge, which was destroyed by Thomas and temporarily repaired. After repair of the bridge, this road will remain to facilitate the easing of traffic of the main Castries-Gros Islet highway, to take motorists who are going into Corinth and Grand Riviere off the main highway, causing less congestion in traffic.
He notes, however, that other roads within the constituency have received major attention under his watch.
I can see the reaction of the road users. They are very pleased to see that something is being done. I want to ask the people of Cap Estate to be a little patient. I am exploring all possibilities to ensure that we at least alleviate the situation for the time being until government can come around to assisting us with the overall repairs of the road. I know it is very costly, but we are working on a proposal that hopefully will put to rest the concerns about the roads here.
But it has not all been smooth sailing during his tenure, as there are a number of campaign promises that Montoute has not been able to deliver on during his first term in office.
After 5 years of assuring the residents of Gros Islet that the Gros Islet Polyclinic will be open 24 hours, campaign,
yes.
Last campaign you stressed that it would have been open for 24 hours. Why is it not a reality in 2011?
Well, that is something I too have lamented. And I want to assure you that it will be done, because I am going to continue to pursue it. It is a promise that I have made, and it's a promise I intend to keep. I have been very disappointed, I have to say so, with the pace, at which the relevant officials have been moving on this project.
According to Montoute, the expansion of the facility will commence this September, allowing for dialysis machines and further diagnostic equipment, besides the delays to the 24-hour operation of the facility to the usual government red tape.
I think it has to do with the bureaucracy that is involved in implementing anything that you want to do in government. I think these, and while I think that the officials in government see the utility of this exercise and they are prepared to exercise it, I would like them to move with more urgency, because at the end of the day, the people of Gros Islet simply cannot wait much longer for it.
But it is not all doom and gloom.
By September, we can begin to extend the hours. I mean, initially it will not be 24 hours, but we are going to start off with the hours being extended into the night, and then gradually we will move to 24 hours.
Coming up after the break.
Spider Montoute has attempted to work out a niche for himself below the radar.